If you operate connected construction equipment in 2026, a teenager with $500 can shut your job site down. The industrial radio remote controllers used on cranes, hoists, and lifters across America are wide open to a basic radio attack. The signals are not encrypted. The commands are not authenticated. A $400 software-defined radio, a laptop, and a publicly posted research paper is all it takes to seize control of a working crane. Trend Micro tested 7 brands of these controllers used on real job sites. Every single one was vulnerable. Modern heavy equipment is no longer a machine. It is a wireless network with a hydraulic system attached. Every excavator, dozer, telehandler, and skid steer rolling out of a Caterpillar, Deere, Komatsu, or Kubota factory today comes wired with telematics. JD Link, Vision Link, Comtrax. The names sound like productivity tools. They are not. They are open data pipelines that broadcast your machine's location, fuel level, engine hours, and operational status to a corporate server every few minutes. And every one of those connections is a door. In October 2018, the United States Industrial Control Systems Cyber Emergency Response Team issued a critical advisory on the Telecrane F25 Industrial Remote Controller, CVE 2018-17935, severity score 7.6. The crane control radio used fixed digital codes. Anyone with a basic sniffer could record the operator's signal and replay it later. The crane could not tell the difference between the operator and the attacker. Then Trend Micro tested 17 industrial radio controllers used across construction sites in the United States, Europe, and China. They published the results. Saga, Circuit Design, Juco, Autech, Hetronic, Elka, Telecrane. Every single brand was vulnerable to replay attacks. Every single brand fell for emergency stop abuse. Every single brand could be hijacked with command injection. In their own words, launching a replay attack or emergency stop abuse would need only an appropriate device that costs a few hundred US dollars. $500 to take over a working crane. That is not a theory. That is the price of entry. This is not a hypothetical risk. This is a documented, published, federally acknowledged vulnerability sitting on construction sites across America right now. Today, I will show you exactly how the attack works, exactly which manufacturers shipped these open doors, and exactly what it costs you when somebody walks through one. Here is how the attack actually works. An attacker parks within radio range of your job site. He does not need to step onto the property. He can sit in a lot 200 yards away. He powers up a $400 software-defined radio. He records the commands the crane operator is sending. Lift, lower, travel, stop. Each command carries a fixed digital signature. He waits. He plays them back. The crane obeys. Or worse, he transmits an emergency stop and locks the boom in place mid-lift. The operator slams the dead man switch. Nothing happens. The radio no longer trusts the human holding it. It trusts the attacker in the parking lot. That is the radio side. The telematics side is worse. In August 2022, a security researcher known as Sick Codes walked onto the DEF CON stage in Las Vegas and demonstrated a complete jailbreak of 2 John Deere display models, the 2630 and the 4240. He ran the video game Doom on a tractor display designed to control a $500,000 machine. His technical finding was direct. Nothing on the system was properly encrypted. Nothing was checksummed. The firmware ran every line of code as root. John Deere had built a wireless, internet-capable connected farming computer with worse authentication than a 2005 home rotor. In 2024, researchers at Colorado State University performed what they called the first ever wireless drive-by attack on a commercial vehicle. They exploited the federally mandated electronic logging device that lives on every commercial fleet truck and increasingly on every connected fleet excavator. From outside the vehicle, over Bluetooth, they forced the engine to 0% torque. The accelerator stopped responding. They then demonstrated that malware could spread truck to truck through a parking lot at a highway rest stop. The federal government requires these devices. The federal government does not require them to have security. Now do the math on what one breach costs your operation. The average ransomware attack on a small to mid-sized contractor costs over $240,000. Unplanned industrial downtime runs as high as $125,000 per hour. Construction is now the third most attacked industry in America. In September 2025 alone, 562 ransomware attacks were publicly reported. Construction made up 11.4% of victims. The median ransom paid in 2025 jumped to nearly $60,000. The total breach cost when you add downtime, legal exposure, and business interruption averages over $5 million per incident. And the dwell time, the window between when the attacker gets in and when your data gets encrypted, is now under 4 hours. By the time anyone notices, the lockout has already happened. Your crane is bricked. Your excavators will not start. Your project manager cannot access the schedule. Your insurance underwriter is on the phone asking why your cybersecurity policy never covered heavy equipment. The manufacturers shipped you the open door. The attackers are walking through it. Here is what smart contractors are doing right now. First, audit every connected machine in your fleet. JD-Link, VisionLink, Comtrax, and every dealer telematics module should be recorded in a written inventory. You need to know what is broadcasting on your job site and where that data is being sent. Second, disable telematics features you do not actively need. Dealers want the data stream for warranty enforcement and for upsell targeting. You do not get paid extra for letting them harvest it. If a feature can be turned off, turn it off. Third, replace or patch every radio controller older than 2020. If your crane uses a Telecrane F25 or any industrial remote made before 2020, demand that the manufacturer push the firmware fix or give you a replacement. Do not accept that the device is fine because nothing has happened yet. The vulnerability has been public for 7 years. Fourth, stop signing equipment leases that include mandatory always-on telematics with no opt-out clause. Every connection point you cannot disable is a permanent attack surface that you are paying to host on your own job site. And finally, demand that your industry associations and federal regulators force manufacturers to publish their security audits. If a federal mandate requires the device, a federal mandate should require the device to be secure. Right now, neither is true. Manufacturers will tell you their systems are safe. Sick codes ran doom on a $500,000 tractor. Trend Micro hijacked 17 crane brands with off-the-shelf radio gear. Colorado State stopped a moving truck from a rest stop parking lot. The systems are not safe. They are convenient for everyone except the operator paying for them. If you are learning something from this, hit subscribe. I cover the security failures and corporate scams hiding inside the heavy equipment industry every single week. The wireless attack surface is just one piece of a much larger control problem. Manufacturers are using the exact same telematics systems to lock you out of your own diagnostic codes and to force you back to the dealer for every repair. If you want to see how the right to repair fight is finally cracking the dealer monopoly, click the video on your screen right now.